Hello there, Techinthehouse here, testing the sound. 1, 2, 3, test 3, 2, 1. I'll be toning the music down a little bit. Perfect. Here we are for the 5th live stream, and today we have an important topic related to OpenAI, the AI company that has been making headlines for the past months, and not always for the best reasons, and these news are no exception. They've been flagged for doing something flawed from the security perspective, and that's what we'll discuss. And all of these will be very important, especially because not only this new controversy involves Apple products, but also we do know that the next generation of iPhones is about to bring OpenAI kind of incorporated in the software itself. So given that Apple has always been a very privacy oriented company, it will be very decisive and important for OpenAI to adopt the same strategies and goals, since if they are going to serve Apple users, they must. Otherwise, there's the risk of them tainting Apple's image. And that Apple will not allow that. So, yep, a lot of interesting things to discuss today. And we will start very soon, right after I finish doing the sound checks. See you soon. Okay, sound is working perfectly fine. I'll send you guys now for the waiting screen. And just a reminder that all these live streams are open to debate. Each and every person is welcome to leave your comments on the chat, and we'll discuss anything. Whether you're a user watching it in real time or someone watching it later as a pre-recorded video, feel free to let me know your comments and we'll discuss. Let's have a free space open for debate. I'll be sending you guys now for the waiting screen. I'll just go over all the screens that we have just to make sure that everything is working fine. Since, as you know, last stream we finally added some music to the screens, and I want to make sure everything is working perfectly. And as you can see, the second screen also is working perfectly. We'll be jumping soon to the last screen, the post screen, and then we'll move on to the news. This is the pause screen. Let's just make sure everything is working fine. Okay, perfect. It seems like we are ready to go. Okay, and here we have arrived on the main screen for today. If you just entered, welcome, and today we'll be discussing the new controversy surrounding OpenAI's ChatGPT app for Mac. As usually, I'll be reading the news article in its full extent and making some comments. And as always, feel free to comment everything you might think about and we'll discuss it. So, getting into the article. OpenAI's ChatGPT Mac app was storing conversations in plain text. After the security flaw was spotted, OpenAI updated its desktop ChatGPT app to encrypt the locally stored records. An article by Jay Peters, news editor, on The Verge. Until Friday, OpenAI recently launched ChatGPT macOS app had a potentially worrying security issue. It wasn't hard to find your chats stored on your computer and read them in plain text. That meant that if a bad actor or malicious app had access to your machine, they would easily read your conversations with ChatGPT and the data contained within them. As demonstrated by Pedro José Pereira Vieto on Threads, the ease of access meant it was possible to have another app access those files and show you the text of your conversations right after they happened. Pereira Vieto shared the app he made with me, and I used it to make a video showing how the app can read my ChatGPT conversations with the click of a button. I was able to find the files on my computer and see the text of conversations just by changing the file name. And here we have the video of this happening in real time. So as you can see, he's asking ChatGPT something, he's answering, and then the ChatGPT stealer can easily extract the exchanged information through those text files, which are stored somewhere in macOS library, where most of the app data is stored on a macOS system. Okay, and yes, as you can see, this perfectly works, which is a problem. This is a problem. We know how important ChatGPT conversations can be, not only in the sense that ChatGPT is very conversational and has access to the whole internet, but also in the sense that people can't help it but share a lot of private personal data with it, because the more, just like with any AI assistant, the more information you give it, the better he'll be at understanding what you want him to do, and you'll get tasks done faster, better, and it's only upsides, except the fact that you're exchanging personal information. And if that information is easily accessible by text file on your computer, that's a problem. We're not talking about something as if you kind of just requested OpenAI to send you to download your data. No, it's already being stored on your computer openly in real time as you are uh, producing it, that data. And that means that if the data is that exposed, it's not even an encrypted file or anything, other apps might be, and specifically, particularly malicious apps, might have access to it. And this is a very problem in terms of security. I'm not sure how did an app like this was allowed. Honestly, I'm not even sure ChatGPT is something that it's available on the App Store, or you just install it from the website. Not sure. But and ultimately is not something, it's something that should be dealt with as soon as possible, and has, from my understanding, it was, I believe by this time it's already fixed. But just to give you some perspective, this article is from 2 hours ago, so it's very recent. So until very recently, this was not fixed. And so let's continue. After The Verge contacted OpenAI about the issue, the company released an update, and it says encrypts the chats. We are aware of this issue and have shipped a new version of the application, which encrypts these conversations, OpenAI spokesperson Taya Christiansen says in a statement to The Verge. We're committed to providing a helpful user experience while maintaining our high security standards as our technology evolves. So as we were saying, it seems like they have already fixed it by now. So I'm glad they fixed it very timely and very fastly. So I think we're all thankful for that, but it still brings some concerns in terms of what are OpenAI's priorities, because this is not a little flaw. This is a major issue. Despite being fixed quickly, it's measured, and it's not every day that you see apps being failed like this. So, and we can use WhatsApp as a reference. You do know how it would be weird for WhatsApp to store WhatsApp conversations on text. So, despite ChatGPT not being a messaging app, it's still a chatbot, so it's conversationally based. So it is destined to there be exchange of personal information. So they should be running themselves or running the company with the same standards as a messaging app. And this is not something unprecedented. Even if they were regarding themselves as a messaging app, we do know, for example, Zoom in the very early days, in the beginning of the pandemic, Zoom also did have a lot of problems in terms of privacy, which were fixed months later. It took them weeks to fix them. So, but even comparing that scenario, we can kind of excuse Zoom in the sense that they just grew out of nowhere. It was a sudden boom and everyone started using it. OpenAI is not so much like that. There was a boom, yes, but that boom has been over a year ago, so they've had already more than enough time to fix things like it, and even if it's a new app, to not make these mistakes in the first place, and to take security with a higher regard, clearly. And so moving on with the article. After downloading the update, Pereira Vieto's apps no longer works for me, and I can't see my conversations in plain text. So this means the fix fixed it. The update. I asked Pereira Vieto how he discovered the original issue. I was curious about why OpenAI opted out of using the app sandbox protections and ended up checking where they stored the app data. He said, OpenAI only offers the ChatGPT macOS app through its own website, meaning the app doesn't have to follow Apple's sandboxing requirements that apply to software distributed via the Mac App Store. So this was exactly the doubt I was having. Clearly, they're not in the App Store, because knowing the specific tight restrictions that Apple forces developers to follow in order for an app to be listed on the Mac App Store, it does make sense for an app with such a big flaw not to be allowed there. So the question now stands is, was OpenAI even aware of this in the first place, of this problem, and is that why they did not distribute the software through the Mac App Store? Or was this just a misunderstanding and a flaw that no one saw coming and now they fixed it? And now that they fixed it, does the app uh, uh, qualify to be listed in the Mac App Store? Are there any other flaws that need fixed that we don't know about and that we'll see on the days to come? We don't know. We can only hope not so, I guess. So moving on with the article. Unless you've opted out, OpenAI might review ChatGPT conversations for safety and to train its models. But that privilege isn't one you'd expect to extend to a non-third party that get access and know where to look. Of course it could be worse. This app still wasn't storing everything you've seen on your computer in plain text. Okay, this article ends with a follow-up to another article which seems just as controversial as this one. And surprisingly enough, it's from about a month ago, about the Windows AI feature that's supposed to be able to collect everything you do on your computer, a recall feature, which we know it was also rigged with security flaws and received major backlash when it was announced. From my understanding, it seems to have had also a security flaw similar to this one, amongst all the security flaws that we've heard about. But coming back to the OpenAI's article, just to finish it, we also have here another idea which we haven't touched on, which is this app sandbox protection. From my understanding, A normal app that is available on the Mac App Store has to follow a specific app sandbox protocol in the sense that the app does not access personal information unless it requests it, and that information is released to the app in kind of a sandbox manner, uh, piece by piece. It never, so that the app never ends up accessing the real thing as a whole. And OpenAI, by not distributing the app through the internet, their website, do not have to comply with that, which is again just adding up to the whole security flaw uh, problem. But I'm happy they fixed it as fast as they did, and let's just hope nothing else appears. And this makes us think about whether OpenAI is committed to privacy or not, and we sure hope they do, since they are collabing with Apple, the privacy-wise company. So, which was a bold move by Apple, might I say, not only to partner with OpenAI, but also to partner with anyone in the first place, because they always do everything alone. So I guess this time they had no choice but to partner to to establish a partnership with someone so that they don't get left behind. Okay, I will take a look here at the article about Microsoft Recall AI to make sure it's worth looking at. And please, as always, do feel free to comment down below your thoughts on the chat or on the comments below. If you're watching this later as a pre-recorded video, I do want to know your opinion, what you think about this. Is OpenAI a company you trust? Are you satisfied with OpenAI being integrated on the iPhone? And do keep in mind that there is the policy in which every time Apple Intelligence wants to resort to OpenAI ChatGPT, it will ask you specifically, and only after your permission will do so. So there's still some clearly they're thinking about your security, but even in spite of all that, do you feel like it will be something you feel safe about? Please do let me know in the comments if you're an iPhone user aiming at buying the newest iPhone, because I'm not even sure honestly if that feature will be available for the older iPhones. Not sure. Probably will be something exclusive for the newer variant, which would be iPhone 16. And so I'm just checking this article to see if it's worth reviewing, because we already know Microsoft Recall was a major privacy threat. It's a privacy threat. I do say that this article is too big and not worth reviewing. So, but yes, we covered the major thing we had for today. Let's just take a look here at the comments on the article to see what people have been thinking about. Let's see. This is my next era IP says enterprise ChatGPT is a thing. So yes, this is a huge security flaw in their eyes. Yes, imagine if you're an enterprise and all the conversations your employees are having with the AI bot of the company are being stored in written files. Sensitive data from your company being leaked just like that and easily available at the hands of someone who wants to steal it? No, that's worrisome. It's very worrisome. We have Tsuyo saying, mail app stores emails in a readable format. My notes are just markdown. You can inspect the XML of a Word document to read its contents if you really want. I'm struggling to see the issue with local files being plain text. What exactly is the problem? Does someone get access to my files? Can use my files? Tsuyo is taking a more controversial approach, I'd say. It does not seem to see any problem in storing things in the readable format. Tsuyo, I'm not sure if because I do understand what you're saying, since that notes are markdown, mails apparently are storing in readable format. I understand that, but still, let me ask you this. Are your WhatsApp conversations being stored in the readable format? They're not. They're encrypted. You can't even find them locally on your phone. And if you do, you can't read them. I do feel like anything involving chatting and exchanging information should be like that. And I do understand what you're saying about mail, but at the end of the day, uh, I would like to think that males are on their own league. They're almost like kind of something very legacy, you know. They're one of the oldest in these games, so I don't think there's really a need to hold them in the same regards as these other messaging platforms. So, although I understand, I disagree that just because males does not abide to these rules, ChatGPT shouldn't. I do think it should. Let's see what else. You have a response to Tsuyo by What is Delicious, who says, "It's the same issue as Microsoft Recall. It is better to store anything with potential sensitive data as encrypted than easily readable." I agree with this. You can get encrypted email, encrypted notes, encrypted documents if you want, and should. You choosing not to doesn't make it less of a security risk. Do you also store passwords in plain text? You're basically just making the argument right now that what's the issue with leaving your window open at night? Like, why wouldn't you close your window, lock it, and pull the curtains closed? I have to agree with what is delicious, because it's true. Everything that is personal, sensitive, or secret should be stored in a personal, sensitive, and secret way. And ChatGPT and conversations are no exception, given the amount of personal data that gets exchanged. Of course, in the with the goal of ChatGPT getting your task as perfectly as possible. But still, uh, I think I agree with what is delicious. Like emails should be encrypted, notes should be encrypted, notes should be encrypted. One two wrongs doesn't make one better. Exactly. Those mail apps that Tsuyo is saying that are in a readable format, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. It's another thing to get fixed. Let's see what Tsuyo answered to what is delicious. How is this? How is it the same as recall? That was scrapping what you did. You provide data to GPT. It is an intentional act, compared to a passive one. Hmm. You can get encrypted email. You can encrypt notes on a case-by-case basis. You can encrypt documents. I don't store passwords in plain text, but there's a legitimate security argument for encrypting all passwords by default. That argument, I believe, does not translate to chatbot conversations. In fact, I think it's anti-ethical to the spirit of local computing, as it hampers the output's ability to be leveraged by other software. Nobody's leaving a window open at night, unless you believe there is an inherent flaw in the macOS file system that allows unauthorized access to its contents. I know what Tsuyo is saying. It's basically making the argument that it's okay for OpenAI to store things whatever they want to store it, since macOS in itself wouldn't give access to other apps to this GPT data. I understand, but Tsuyo with his argument is thinking on a perfect world. He's saying you're saying you're not leaving a window open. The thing is that is making it has a picture perfect. Like a malicious software will not abide by Apple's rules. They will have access, whether it's authorized or unauthorized. They will brute force have that access. That is a malicious software with malicious intent. However, I do agree with what he's saying of passwords being encrypted by default. I think it's a legitimate security argument as well. Clearly, completely. And but I can't agree with just because you gave intentionally your data to get GPT getting it started in plain text. I don't think the average user even knows that's a possibility. So I don't think I don't think it should. I think it's a open gateway, a window for spies. In my head, it does not make sense. To I do not see why wouldn't the security argument translate to chatbot conversations as well. I think it should, and I think it does not often, specifically WhatsApp. We have a new response to what is delicious, to the part where he says that it's better to store anything encryptable. Anything sensitive has encrypted. Let's see what WV Enable says. He says, "Isn't that everything? Why do you think ChatGPT sessions are more sensitive than every Word document on my computer, or emails, or source code?" Of course, Let's see what Jake the Bear says. Maybe technically, but Jake the Bear is commenting on similarities with Microsoft Recall. He says, but honestly, I want to hear about Tsuyo. But let me just check if Tsuyo is gonna. Oh yeah, Tsuyo is gonna say something better later. Now he's just commenting not in the apps. Oh, that's fine. Tsuyo doesn't talk anymore. That's a bummer. But let's just finish the comments from Jack the Bear about Microsoft Recall similarities. Jack the Bear says, maybe technically, but the impact of these are very different. Recall was essentially recording everything you do, which can include things like editing documents that you encrypt at rest when finished, or entering sensitive data into otherwise encrypted sessions. Storing recall data in plaintext is unfathomable, because the kind of access recall had and the breadth of data it collected could essentially obviate any security mitigation you had otherwise taken to secure your personal information. Essentially, a hacker who stole your recall data may not need to steal anything else in order to compromise your life. This is very true. Encrypting data at rest is a good thing, and I imagine people ask sensitive things to these bots, just like they put sensitive questions into Google search. Sure, it should have been encrypted, but the impact here is nowhere near as large as recall data sitting in plain sight. Yes, I completely agree with Jack the Bear here. If recall data had the same problem of plain text, completely it has a way larger impact because it's your computer as a whole. That feature was supposed to take screenshots every minute or every hour or something like that, and have that uh, uh, digested and understood by an AI so that it knows what you were doing, what apps you were using, what websites you were visiting. And it's a recall of your whole activity on a computer. Even if that was in plain text, of course, it is completely unfathomable. I agree with Jack the Bear. It's the same issue, but not with the same impact, and not with the same extension, and not with the same risk. Completely. Completely. But still, I do believe that you can do a lot with ChatGPT data in plain sight. Not maybe with one conversation, but if all your conversations do start in text, rack up 20, 30 of them, and you can do also real damage to compromising someone's life. Completely, completely. You can get a lot of things from ChatGPT. Just think about ourselves and how much we share with it in order to get responses. Or maybe we don't even notice it. Maybe we do. We feed it things that we don't even think about in the moment, but are actually private things that a hacker can use against us. It's very easy. Very easy. And people who work on this, I don't, but work on these types of matters of extracting information about people, they do know where to get their things from the whole internet, being social media and everything. And now imagine if that all of that is kind of compiled in text files, in conversations with a chatbot. It's it's uh, it's basically your work is a lot of your work is already done by you, so you don't have to do it. So completely, I do see how that's a security of threat. Absolutely. And now let's see. Okay, the other comments are not as interesting, but yes, this is a very SMO Dasu is commenting. It's a feature. It's not a security flaw. It's a feature. Completely. But this feature has been abolished. Has from today. It's been fixed. So it was not a feature. Okay, so I think this is all for today, guys. Remember, leave your comments what you think about all this. Do you trust OpenAI? I don't know, how much time do you check it daily? Do you even use it daily or only once a month? Is it something you've already found useful in your life? Do let me know in the comments down below. Do you even use the app if you have Mac? Honestly, I didn't even know they had a Mac app for Mac. Apparently, it's very recent. I'll tell you right now about myself. I use Windows, and even on Windows, I don't know if there is an app, but if there is, I do not have it installed. I just go to the website. I have like the link already. I write the letter CH and it appears and it's done and it's logged in. I don't even have to do anything, so it's super fast. So honestly, I don't even see why people feel the need to install it on a computer. But maybe there are features that exist on the app and don't exist online. I'm not sure. I'm open to that possibility. But yes, that's why I want you guys to comment. We are finishing the live stream. Please leave a like, leave your opinions, comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy tech. This is the 5th live stream, and we'll hopefully be doing more live streams about tech related contents, just chilling, reacting, and debating on important topics, just like cybersecurity, like this one. We'll be finishing in just a few seconds. I will send you guys now to the space screen. Thanks everyone for tuning in for this live stream today. I hope you guys have the rest of a wonderful day or a wonderful night, depending on where you are. I'm Techinthehouse. Leave a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This live stream will end in a few seconds. Thank you for joining.